Hello everyone, this is MJ, and you are at my channel called Reading This Life. My channel is where we talk fiction, friends, and fun. Today, let's talk friends and fun. It's a Tag Tuesday. And today, I'm going to be tackling the Jim Henson Book Tag. This is an original tag created by my pal Gareth over at his channel, Books, Songs, and Other Magic. If you don't know Gareth, you need to really check out his channel. This is going to be awesome because I grew up loving all things Jim Henson. You name it, I knew about it, I was a part of it. So, there are 10 prompts. I was prompted in the original tag, which is a huge honor. Thank you, Gareth. So, let's get into the tag. Prompt number 1. Name a book that taught you something. So, I'm going to say I actually sat down and wrote out my answers before doing this tag, which I normally never do. So, I have 2 picked for this book. I'm going to do one fiction and one nonfiction. Okay, so my answer for that is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Yeah, this book, oh, man, I am just going to tell you about my experience with this book. Comment down below and let me know if you've read it. This book taught me empathy, rage, anger, tolerance. I've never been through so many emotions in a book before in my life. And I persevered, taught me perseverance because I wanted to finish it. Did I want to put it down when the stuff got tough? Yes, but I kept through. And as horrible and awful as the material was to read, it brought out emotions in me. And for that, I credit it to me learning something. So it deepened my sense of empathy. It enlightened me to people that have certain issues going on in their life and the self-harm that people can do to themselves. So I did get a glimpse into other lives that I may not have ever encountered unless reading this book. So yeah, if that makes sense. A Little Life taught me a lot about myself and what other people go through as well. The good and the bad. Okay, so that's the fiction piece. The nonfiction piece is, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it is The Gifts of Imperfection by Dr. Brené Brown. If you do not know Dr. Brené Brown, you are also missing out because she is fantastic. This book is all about embracing failure and learning from failure, and that it's okay not to be perfect all the time. And that our flaws are what make us beautiful. And our flaws are what make us individuals. And our flaws can take us to greatness. So those are my 2 recommendations for prompt number 1. Prompt number 2. Muppet Show. Name a book that has unpredictability in the story. So for that one, I picked, The Sparrow. I read this book back in 2015. I remember exactly where I was reading it. It was outdoors. And I did not know what I was going into. I know it was science fiction. I know it was kind of getting like a culty name to it. Like people were like, hey, did you read The Sparrow yet? Did you read The Sparrow? And it was circulating around, but I had no idea what I was getting into. And I had no idea as to what I was about to read. So if you have read The Sparrow and if you enjoyed The Sparrow, comment down below and let me know. That is one book that I can say still hangs with me Once in a while, I'll think about it and I'll be like, God, do I need to revisit it? Because I know there's also a Sparrow 2, and I don't know if there's a 3, but I've only read the first one. So comment down below and let me know. Have you read the Sparrow, and do I really need to read the second one? Let me know. But the first one, yeah, unpredictable. Whew, man, didn't see that coming. The Sparrow is written by Maria Doria Russell. I gave The Sparrow 4 out of 5 stars. The blurb for The Sparrow. In 2019, humanity finally finds proof of extraterrestrial life when a listening post in Puerto Rico picks up an exquisite singing from a planet that will come to be known as Rakat. While United Nations diplomats endlessly debate a possible first contact mission, the Society of Jesus quietly organizes an 8-person scientific expedition of its own. What the Jesuits find is a world so beyond comprehension that it will lead them to question what it means to be human. If you are looking for something with twists and turns and something that you didn't expect, The Sparrow is going to take you there, I think. Number 3, A Muppet Show Newscaster. What's a book that tackled a current political or social issue well? I had to think about this, and I went through my Goodreads history, and I went through the entire history that I have on there. And I'm going to say the book Wow, No Thank You by Samantha Irby. This is a book of essays. This book I completely loved. I loved everything about this book. Okay, so if you're looking for something different, I'm going to read you the blurb about Samantha Irby's book of essays. So Irby is turning 40. This is from Goodreads. And increasingly uncomfortable in her own skin. She has left her job as a receptionist at a veterinary clinic, has published successful books, and is courted by Hollywood, left Chicago and moved into a house with a garden that requires repairs and know-how with her wife and 2 stepchildren in a small white Republican town in Michigan, where she now hosts book clubs. This is the bougie life of dreams. She goes on bad dates with new friends, spends weeks in Los Angeles taking meetings with skinny, luminous people, while being a cheese-frying, slightly damp Midwest person with neck pain and no cartilage in her knees, and hides Entenmann's cookies under her bed and unopened bills under her pillow. Cute, relevant, funny, relatable. I completely enjoyed this book, and when I read it, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Okay, next prompt. We are on 4. Dark Crystal. Name a book that is an excellent example of world building. So, I'm not a huge fantasy person, right? I don't read a lot of fantasy. I went through my Goodreads list, and I'm like, what did I love? What is a story that I actually was enchanted with, that I would love to visit, that I would love to meet these people and hang out and experience what they're experiencing? And it had to be, I've said it over and over again. If you know my channel, I'm going to say it again. The Beasts of Extraordinary Circumstance. And this is by Ruth Emmy Lang. This is one of the best books I've ever read. I read this back in, oh gosh, we're going back, 2018, 2019, something like, no, it's more than that. Hold on. Let me check the cover. All right, the publishing date was October 2017. I don't think I read it until January 2018. I think that was it. But this book is just, if you're not into fantasy, this is just enough to get you through. Just enough. So we have a character situation. Let me pull up Goodreads. If you are on my channel long enough, you know I talk about that book. And actually, Susan, a well-known commenter, told me that she was in a slump and she just picked up this book. And she's like, thank you for recommending it. It's getting her out of her slump. And I love that. Let me pull up Goodreads. Okay, Beasts of Extraordinary Circumstance. Orphaned, raised by wolves. Y'all heard this one before. And the proud owner of a horned pig named Merlin, Waylon Gray, knew he wasn't like other people. But when he single-handedly stopped a tornado on a stormy Christmas day in Oklahoma, he realized just how different he actually was. I could probably read this by heart already. Okay, I'm gonna jump down to the bottom. Beasts of Extraordinary Circumstance tells the story of Waylon Gray's life from the perspectives of the people who knew him, loved him, and even a few who thought he was just plain weird. Although he doesn't stay in any of their lives for long, he leaves each of them with a story to tell. Stories about a boy who lives with wolves, great storms that evaporate into thin air, fireflies that make phosphorescent honey, and a house filled with spider webs and a strange man who inhabits it. There is one story, however, that Waylon wishes he could change his own, but first he has to muster enough courage to knock on Mary's front door, and Mary is his sweetie. And it's just such a good book. This was the first book introduced by Ruth Emmy Lang, and it is just full of a little bit of, I don't know, light fantasy, wonder, nature, friendship, love. Oh, it's just so good. Like, I honestly think I'm going to reread it this year. It's that good. And I'm going to do a full review on it because it's that good. And nobody talks about this book, but I honestly love it. So that's my answer. It is Beasts of Extraordinary Circumstance by Ruth Emmy Lang. I think it's just the right combination of fantasy and reality. Perfect. Labyrinth. Name a book with a great friendship in the story. The only book I can honestly think of that just screams friendship to me is Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. All right, for this one, I'm switching my answer. I had a different book, but I'm going to say it's Project Hail Mary, Andy Weir. And I'm not spoiling anything, but if you've read this book, then you know. If you know, you know. But I'm not going to spoil it for anyone that hasn't read it or that may have DNF'd it. And I love the friendship in this book. I absolutely love it. So that's my answer. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. And if you've never read it, give it a try. Andrew, I know you didn't like it, but there's a lot of us that loved it. Number 6, name a book with great storytelling. Oh, number 6 is The Storyteller. Name a book with great storytelling. It's gotta be, I mean, there's no other. There really is no other answer for me. It's The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy. Hands down. I gave this book 5 stars. I own the audiobook and it is just lovely. I think there was an animated version that came out by the BBC and that may have won an Oscar, but I mean, what just a pure heartfelt story. It is just taking you on a ride. And I've said this book over again too, and I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but it really is an audible meditation to listen to this book. And it brings you back to what life is all about. If you've never read this, take an hour out of your time, drop with your reading, and rent this from the library, download it from the library, read it. But the audiobook is sublime. It is sublime. It is worth a credit if you have Audible credits. It is worth the purchase if you have a gift card or something like that. You will go back to it over and over and over again like me. I just listened to it day before Christmas Eve and it was perfect. It grounded me. This story grounds me and it's filled with hope and friendship. Can't recommend it enough. There's a lot of great recommendations in this tag, for sure. Number 7, Farscape. Are you guys Farscape fans? Let me know in the comment section down below. I am. I'm Team Aaron. Aaron Sun. 100%. Name a book that is wild, weird, and unpredictable. That is Liarmouth by John Waters. Oh my gosh, I read that over the summer and it's just freaking fantastic. I had no idea what I was getting into. It is the most ridiculous, revolting, surprising, charming book I've ever read. And I loved it. So yeah, that book absolutely is a wild, weird, and unpredictable ride. I did a video on it, and I'll leave a card up here for it if you want to check it out. But if you love John Waters movies and you know what he's like and you know what he's about, then you will love this book. This book was just out there. It was bonkers out there. And I can't really talk about it without laughing or smiling because it's just so ridiculous. It's disgusting, but it's fun. I don't know how else to describe it. It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone, for sure. I read it when I was down with COVID. Yeah, in July. And I think I finished it in 2 days. It was that good. All right. Number 8, Dinosaurs. Name a book with a great monster in it. What did I pick? Oh, okay. So I picked an oldie too. And this is Bird Box by Josh Malerman. Now don't think about the movie. Get the movie out of your head. Think about the book. When I first started hearing about this book, it was on different book podcasts that I listened to. I listened to a lot of book podcasts before I got into BookTube. And the one book that kept coming up over and over again is Bird Box, as being a scary book. Read it with the lights off. Read it when you're home alone. And I'll tell you what, that whole mental game really affected me. And I was nervous. I was so nervous to get it from the library, and I was so nervous to read it. I'm like, oh my God, what is in this book? What is going to make me lock the doors and turn a light on and stuff like that? And it really, really is suspenseful. It's gripping. You're not sure exactly what's going on, but you want to keep reading. And there is a monster, but you're not exactly sure what it is. So that's my recommendation. If you've never read Bird Box and you want to get a little scared, or a lot scared, check it out. And then watch the movie. I liked the movie. It wasn't bad. I actually watched the movie when I got Watson as a puppy. So that's 4 years now? All right, number 9. Neverending Story. Name a book that is too long. That's easy. Way too long. Sorry. It's it's almost 700 pages. No. It really didn't have to be. Again, you've been on my channel. You know my theory on this book. I don't have to say anything else. Y'all know. And if you know, you know. And knowing is half the battle. I'm not team House of Leaves for sure. Okay. And the last one is Fraggle Rock. Name a book with little creatures in it. That's easy. Watership Down. There are a ton of creatures in this book. A ton of creatures. And it's a good book if you know what you're getting into. I read it last year and it wasn't like I remembered it. And there are a lot of bunnies and rabbits and characters in this book. So that is my answer for that question. Watership Down. It fits the prompt. All right. So I think that's it. Do I have to tag anybody? I don't think I have to tag anybody. It doesn't say to tag. Okay. So, if you are interested in doing this tag, comment down below. Feel free. Have at it. Let me know, what is your favorite Jim Henson character, or what is your favorite Jim Henson production? Me, I am a huge fan of Labyrinth. One of my favorite movies. Absolutely love almost everything about it. Also a huge fan of The Dark Crystal. Oh, Farscape, don't even start with me on that. Sesame Street, grew up with it. The Muppet Show, come on, they're all good. The only Fraggle Rock I used to watch once in a while. Dinosaurs I'm not really familiar with. I think I was too old for Dinosaurs maybe. Okay. But yeah, Gareth, this was a fun tag. Great tag. Nice going down memory lane. Thank you so much. And I hope you all enjoyed the answers to my prompts. All right, everyone, that is it here for me. I hope you are doing well. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. And I will see you in my next video, whether that be sooner or later. So until next time, everyone, goodbye for now.